to Monday Quilt Chat. I hope you had a nice weekend. I know I did. We had lots and lots of rain, and the creek down below us here got way out of its banks, but we live up on the hill, so no threat there. And then Sunday was just a beautiful day, sunny and warm, probably 70 or maybe just a little less than 70. So looks like spring is well on its way in, and I'm glad about that. And I'm sure you are too, and I hope wherever you are in the world, if the weather is a little less than what you would like it to be, that keep hoping you will have better weather eventually, unless you live in Antarctica or something like that. I don't know. But anyway, I just wanted to chat with you a little bit today about the things that are going on here in the she shed. Last week was a busy week, as I mentioned on Friday. Even though I felt like I hadn't really accomplished a whole lot, I was busy, very busy. And then this weekend, I got into some things, and I wanted to share those with you because it was kind of unexpected, but it was something that I was really wanting to get into, and I just hadn't felt okay with giving some of my time to it yet. So I will share that with you now. This is a block of the day. Pat Sloan is having a block of the day for March. And of course, you know, it's almost the very end of the month. But I heard about this from her channel early in the month. As a matter of fact, I think I was at the retreat. And when I saw this block a day, I thought, that would make a really cool black and white quilt. And I've always wanted to do a black and white quilt of my own. I've done one for someone else, but this is that line that is called Fleur Noir, which means black flower in French, I do believe. But all this is 2 4 patches, one here, and then a solid, or floral in this case, block right there. So the 4 of them together form this 8-inch block, and it just comes together very nicely because it's very simple. But depending on what fabric you use for it, you know, you could kind of make it anything. You could do a solid quilt out of it. But I want to show you what my first row looks like. Hold on just a second. Here is the first row. You can almost see all of it. So those 3 circle kind of areas there, that's kind of looks like an Irish chain, doesn't it? So there's just 3 of those there. Each one of these is like 2.5 blocks. So, not 2.5. Yeah, that's right, 2.5 blocks. Or if you look at it as an X, that is 4 blocks. So, the block a day consists of 9 of those circular looking areas. So basically it'll be a square, and you'll see 3 across and 3 down. So that's what I got into this weekend. I bought the fabric while I was at the retreat, and I kept thinking I was going to start it while I was there. But I was working on the red and white quilt at the time. Come to find out, you know, how retreats are. You don't really get a whole lot done like you think you're going to. Even though I pre-cut a whole bunch of red and white, I only got two blocks done while I was there. So anyway, it takes 36 blocks to make that. Of course, there's 31 days, so you have to make extra to make the quilt. But go over to ilovetomakequilts.com. That's Pat Sloan's website. And you can get this free pattern. And I think this might become my go-to pattern for a quick quilt. And you could make a baby quilt out of it. You could make a nice big table topper. You could add rows and blocks to each end and make it bigger. Definitely could make it into a bed quilt. You could add borders. I think it's going to be my go-to quilt. But it's called, what is it called? I don't even remember what it's called. I don't even know if she gave it a name. She may have. But go over there, and if you want these exact measurements to get the 8-inch block, they're over there. Or you could probably just figure that out if you just look at it long enough. But I can't give you those measurements. It's her pattern, so to speak. So, yeah, that's exciting. And I'm going to continue to work on that because it just goes together mindlessly. Love it. Like those kinds of projects in between the harder ones. The kaleidoscope quilt kind of overtaxed my brain, so I needed to get into something else. As a matter of fact, I even got this little project out. And I've got quite a few blocks here now for this. And all I'm doing here is just using my scraps and an aqua. I think I showed you this. But this is my mindless quilt project when I want to just do something for me, for my sanity. I'll just pull that out and do that. And this is kind of like that too. So, am I too late? I don't think so. I'm going to get it done. I may not get it done by March 31st, but it'll be close. Because really, I already have... How many do I have? Let me count how many I have. Today's the 20... What is today? 29th or something like that? 30th? No. It's not even that late in the month. It's 27th, isn't it? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So, yeah, I can get it done. I'm pretty sure I can. Just spend an hour or two a day and I'll have it done, I think. Not too much to ask. And if I don't, I don't. It's all right. Okay, I want to share with you, now later on in this video, I'm going to share with you some things that I have been loving in the quilt world. So hang on for that. In the meantime, I'm going to go over my planner with you. I was just sitting here filling it out. I'm not completely through the week yet. I have to fill in at least 3 more days. Sometimes I put something down for Sunday, sometimes I don't. But I'm through Wednesday. I know what I'm going to do through Wednesday. Here's the quilt that's on this week. It's called Twitter Pated. I'm not going to read this whole thing. It's by Jeanette Boyle of Rapid City, South Dakota. It's needle-turned handwork, and a lot of it. It says there are 170 feathers and petals on here. 170. It took her on and off 3 years to get it done. So, you guys, I am still working on Harriet's Journey. Maybe you haven't seen anything about Harriet's Journey, but I haven't picked it up for a little bit. But sometimes it just takes a long time to get through a quilt. I'm getting close to being done with the what I call easy blocks, and then I'm going to be doing this applique and foundation paper piecing. So I got to just kind of, weave that in here and there. And it might take me a while. It's going to be a great quilt when I get done, I feel like. She won a blue ribbon for this one at the Black Hills Quilt Show in Rapid City, South Dakota. So there it is. Twitter pated. You ever been Twitter pated? I hear people say that. I don't know what it means. But I have a pretty good idea. What else? Well, I guess I could share with you the things that I am loving. And while we are talking about Pat Sloan there and her block a day for March, she's been having these quilt parades. If you watch her every morning, she's on YouTube every morning at 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. as a premiere, which means there's a chat box and she's in the chat box. Now, I do not get up at 7 a.m. to watch her. I watch it later. But she's on Monday through Saturday, and she's been doing this quilt parade with all the quilts that she has. And she's been quilting a long time, and she, works with a lot of quilt companies and fabric companies and book companies and pattern companies all these years. And so she has been showing all her quilts that she's got. And I think she said she has her entire dining room and hallway full of stacked quilts on shelves. And she does give some away, and she has different occasions where she can use them for herself in her home. So she's been showing a lot of them lately, and she's come to the conclusion that she can't keep all these quilts. So when she has her little quilt parade for the day, I don't know if she's doing it every day or every few days. She usually picks one that she says she's going to have to donate to someone. So one day she had this one, and it has some rounded pieces there. It's a very basic pattern to learn how to do rounded pieces, and I really liked it. Now, I know how to sew around round edges from doing garment sewing, how to ease in the fabric, and what you can and can't do when you're sewing on a rounded edge. But it's been a while now. I am going to do the duster, that coat, soon, so I'll be doing some of that. But in a quilt itself, I don't think that I've ever done anything rounded other than applique. And this is actually cutting rounded pieces and sewing them together. So I thought this might be a good one to start with. And she mentioned this book. It's her book, Pat Sloan's I Can't Believe I'm Quilting, Beyond the Basics. However, this is a very, very basic book. There's some other things in here too besides just this quilt. There's a bunch of stuff. Now these books, there's a series of books that she had. This one came out in 2008. So there are other ones. I went out looking for this, and I did find a seller on Etsy that had it. And I got it for like $8. So there's another quilt pattern. As a matter of fact, here it is right here. That quilt pattern right there. This is going to be our next sew along. But there's going to be a twist to it. Don't be thinking that those squares are going to stay just plain old squares. We're going to go back to our vintage mystery block quilt blocks. And we're going to start with block number 1, which is Cactus Pot, if you remember. Get that pattern out if you still have it, and take a look at it again, because we're going to be making a bunch of cactus pots. That sew along will start next Wednesday. Not this week, but next Wednesday. So be thinking about some of the fabrics that you have in your stash, because it's going to be a stash buster. And so look for some fabrics that you have that would go well together. Probably won't be giving you the fabric requirements and all of that until Wednesday after next. And yeah, we're going to do a sew along. So that should last a few weeks, and we'll have fun with that and get to see what you all picked out for your cactus pot quilt. And we're going to set them on point. So as you saw. So look at Pat Sloan there. I think I had that hairstyle back then in 2008. I'm pretty sure I did. It suited me. Probably suits me better than the one I have now. Yeah, so these are neat little books. I like these. I really do. If you have these, drag them out. I only have this one because, she mentioned this quilt and I went looking for it. It's a leisure arts book. Yeah. So that's what we're going to do. And then this Wednesday for the video, it's just going to kind of be an oddball video, but I'm going to do some thread art. Remember this table runner that I did in Las Vegas at the retreat? See, I still haven't got my thread on there. So I'm going to do a little video for you on how to take your machine and some similar colored thread or exact colored thread and put some dimension on these flowers and petals with thread. And this is something that you can do on your quilts and on your sewing projects. This is just on with Wonder Under. It's just stuck on there right now. I think I'm pretty sure I showed you this table runner, didn't I? The ends are a little different. It's I think they called it a 10-minute table runner. It doesn't have batting in it. So that's another reason why it's 10 minutes, because there's no kind of quilting on it or anything. So I'm determined to actually finish my retreat projects this year. I did decide to go ahead and add something to my churn dash, my simple churn dash. I put this on. I cut this out of this daffodils and dragonflies material that I had, and I stuck that in the middle, and I think that makes a nicer look, doesn't it? So I may be doing some thread over this too. I'm not sure. It's a wall hanging, so I wouldn't have to. It's not something that's going to get a lot of wear and wrinkling around and washing, things like that. So I may just leave this alone and use it as a wall hanger. I already put my little dowel in there, but I need a little hook. So I'm calling that one done. Yep. So that's what we have this week. Here's the other favorite things. I didn't finish my favorite things, did I? These pins. Taylor Seville Originals. They come in a little doodad like this. And it's these little flat-headed. I got two sizes of them. I got these from Missouri Star. They were on sale, I believe. But I really like these pins. And you can iron over them. And I think I like the head of them really well, because it seems to not only hold your seams in place as a pin, but even this head kind of keeps it flat so that, your sewing is accurate. So I really like these. Do y'all use these? Tell me what kind of pins y'all like. These are Taylor Seville pins. These ones right here are really short. I like the idea of that. So I've been using these, and what I'm thinking about doing is putting a little magnet down in here, because I've already dumped it. I've already dumped it once, and I'm not going to dump it again. So I like leaving it in this, but I have one of those other magnetic little pin cushion things, but it's made of plastic. You know how it comes apart and it's got those two magnets in it. It's not wanting to stay together, so I'm going to take those two magnets and I'm going to put each one in here. And that, even if this went flying and it was open, I think it might keep a lot of the pins together. I just thought of that. And then these ones came in, these glass head pins came in the Friends box this past month of March. Just little blue headed, glass headed pins. I like these too. I've been using them just for kicks. And who can't resist a little birdhouse? What else have I been loving? Well, you may have seen on the Facebook group that I bought my first Quilter Select ruler. Yeah, I did. This little sucker was $16. And I think the big one, you know, the 6.5 or 6 by 24 is like $75. So I'm going to have to find her on sale sometime. But it was a toss-up. You know, I was talking about my rulers the other day and how I didn't feel like my OmniGrid rulers was giving me accuracy because of all that yellow on there. There's OmniGrid, and I don't think I have Creative Grids. OmniGrid and something else I have over there. OmniGrip, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, I got this one from Soya, free. This is the Olfa. Olfa QR is what they're calling these. They're frosted ones. And somebody was asking me on the Facebook group if these Olfa ones have a grip on them. They do not have the same grip as this. I would say maybe half the grip at these. But these, you can really feel it. It almost feels sticky. It's not sticky. My thumb's not sticking to it. But if you just run your hand on it, at first you think, oh, that's tape. No, it's not tape. It's just some kind of grip stuff they have on there. And you do have to take care of it. You don't want to get like water on it or alcohol on it, or you know, some of your sprays and stuff. You want to make sure you don't get that on there. It's just on the back. It's on the front. But it was a toss-up. I didn't know if maybe I wanted to go ahead with these or these. But I'm kind of glad I went with the Quilter Select now because of that grip on the back of these. But I like these better the way they look and how you can look through them. It's similar. It's just that you can see that this one's clearer than this one. So, I don't know. I looked up these Olfa ones and there wasn't a whole lot of different sizes yet. Maybe they're going to come out with some. I have a 16-inch one. I discovered that I have a 16-inch square of one of these. I didn't even know I had it. I don't know where I got it. It had to be from Soya somehow, I would think. But yes, I am loving the Quilters Select ruler. And I will be purchasing more in the future. What will I do with my old rulers? Do y'all have any ideas? Give me an idea if you think you can think of some way I can, little by little, get rid of my yellow rulers. I hate to. I've got a lot of money in those over time. You know how much rulers cost. Whew. Yeah. So is there anything else that I wanted to share with... Oh, one more thing. My friend Julie made something for me. It's got a little S on it. It's lavenderish purple on one side and green on the other. It's like a block. It's made of wood. And then she's taken the clover thread cutter. It's usually a pendant. You buy this and a cord and you wear it. So the clover on here is upside down, but you can't see that anyway. But anyway, yeah, I've been using this with these black and white squares, and I chain them up to make this. I've been using it. So I had never used thread cutter like this before, and it just really makes quick work of cutting those apart. So I'm loving that. And I do believe, I'm looking around. Is there anything else I needed to tell you? I think that's it. So get your planner out, plan out your week, and get some things done. It's helping me a lot. There was a couple weeks where I was kind of sketchy with it. I had things going on, or I was gone, at the retreat, stuff like that. I didn't mess with this too much, but I'm just allotting certain amounts of time to certain projects on certain days and getting things done. So you can do that too, and just use paper and pen. You don't have to have any kind of planner, but it does help to kind of have the dates down and kind of plan around the other things you have going on in your life. So either way, even if you work full-time, as I say many times over, plan to sew a little bit every day because it's so good for you, so relaxing, and just makes you feel really good and gets you ready for the next day, for the grind the next day. All right, so we'll be in touch. Look for Wednesday's video on the thread art, and I will see you guys then, and then again on Finish It Friday. So have a great week, and we'll see you then. Bye.